JesusChristTrust.net, online church, spread the truth, proving the claims that I'm a saint, have Christ consciousness, uh, have reached the spiritual goal, and still here under the dome to help people as best as I can by sharing the truth. So that's why I'm coming on here on Sundays at noon every week. And thanks to George for making it happen this week. Appreciate the donation. Thanks for Pam. Thanks for your donation. Thanks for making this happen. Uh, and Jay, thanks for the birthday donation. That's right. Because it's Happy Mother's Day, right? No one would be here without their mother, right? That's the script. That's what we're told. So happy Mother's Day. Nothing derogatory against mothers. It's not that. Of course, God made mothers and made the process and made it all happen. That there are mothers and fathers and children and figured out this whole script. So we've got to learn to blame God for everything, right? Blame God for everything. So another thing I want to say is thanks to Mike for being on the roof and the other work that you're doing, helping, make this mobile home livable. If not for me, for someone else, and just fixing the things. Mike's over there, is going to be like 90 today. He's on the roof, putting on the stuff. I had the place for 8 years now, and the roof still leaks. So it's not a really. It's great that Mike is helping fix these things. It's a nice space. All right, Jamie, the world traveler, God's world traveler. All right, Jamie, good to have you. So happy Mother's Day. There's a great mother right there. Happy Mother's Day to you and all the mothers. But we really have to take in God's plan, and once you do that, you really see that really all children are God's children. Me, you, the children that come through women, the children that don't come through women. All the people are God's people. I mean, that's just the reason air's going in and out, and I'm breathing, I have consciousness, and I'm speaking right now. That's God's fault. It's not. I'm not a coincidence theorist. That hey, oh, you're welcome, Jamie. I'm not a coincidence theorist. Like, hey, everything just happened. What? That's an argument, right? Everything just happened. Now it's taught in schools. Like, no, it's evolution. It happened like this. Your grandfather was a monkey. Probably still have a grandfather that is a monkey. Because if your grandfather's a monkey, somebody's grandfather's still probably a monkey walking around, like, that whole preposterous script. That's actually accepted in all the schools that we're taught and everything. Like, that's a solution to, hey, what's the meaning of life? How's everything happening and stuff? They're like, your grandfather's a monkey. What about my grandmother? Monkey too. I'm like, wait, what? The grandfather, and grandmother are monkeys. How is that? And I'm a human. One of them must have been a superhuman and a monkey. What are you talking about? I don't get it. Isn't there like an average? Like it's a Chihuahua and a Great Dane, right? So there's, you're gonna get something in the middle. Like what? What? But that's like the public's all like, oh no, my grandfather was a monkey. What? Well, but great, further back. I'm like, come on, people. That's a bad script. Okay, so the mothers. I didn't come through a mother. That's immaculate conception. I'm not, and I'm not saying I'm the only one. Hey, I'm the one. No. I'm just saying we find ourselves in a situation. I did not create this situation. I'm not the creator of situations. Like, I didn't do that. So call that, uh, the one that created this situation. Also, you find many books, many scripts, many explanations about the situation, all written and laid out or left around here under the dome by God, by the one that created the script. Because you're like, wait a second, we're doing what? Uh, People come to my information about what's really going on. They come to the financial work first, and then they come to the rest of it. They're like, wait, what? And then they're like, wait, this guy sort of knows what's going on in the money department. Let me continue. And, we find this out. And it really just really points to one conclusion, right? God is real. You better align yourself with God. And so, how do we do that? Well, you got to blame everything on God. Everything happened because of God. Everything is happening because of God, and all that. That's what's happening, right? Everything's happening because God decided this would happen. I don't remember being in on the decision process. I don't think anyone else remembers that either. So, uh, it's like, how's that on us? I mean, we're in such a complex game. You have to figure it out, and so that is on us. We're an intelligent being, so you keep looking for the truth, and you can find it. You can figure it out. I figured it out. So, and you figured out, hey, that guy knows. So you figured it out too. So, uh, that's kind of the way it goes. It's like, hey, which way is north? And you're like, oh, no, I got this thing here. It tells you what north is. Here, you have it. And God made the compass. God made all the things that are here. You're trying to find your way. Or I use a compass analogy because you're trying to get somewhere, right? Spiritually. So how would you get? And there's no, hey, spiritual map. There's all these other maps in here. They're all fake. So you're like, where's your spiritual map that can help me? It's very, very tough. Yes, totally seeing the truth daily. Yes, Jamie. Otherwise, you wouldn't have found me. We wouldn't be in any way connected if that wasn't the truth. Yeah, that you're seeking that, and you end up with this whole situation where, like, oh, God is real, and then you find out, wait, the past is fake. But wait a second, God wrote all these things in Jesus and the Bible and the Quran, and is so much, and you're like, yeah, but that's history. That's what God named. That era of what we call the past is what, something that never happened. Uh, and so, who wrote it? God did. So God's trying to send us a message. Hey, these people did this. This went bad for them. You shouldn't do that. And this went good for them. You should do that. That's what his story. That's what God's story is trying to tell us. Hey, you should, follow along and live your life like this. You know, uh, that's what it's saying. So it's like, okay, I should totally. So God wrote all this. So you go, yeah, God wrote all this. So then you got to really, the details are important, but then you can't look at all the details of this difficult script in your life. You can look into it, and then at some point you see it's so detailed. You're like, wait a second, how am I gonna unravel this? It's too much information. Uh, and so you have to look into the script. What's going on? What is happening? I want to go into a piece of that today. uh, I went to when I was in India. I went to this temple in Mumbai called the Ramakrishna Temple. I didn't take no videos. You can look it up though. It's in Mumbai. It has kind of, if there's any video on it, so it's pretty freaking wild place because Ramakrishna place is like on the doors on the. It's a big temple. Hey Jay, I was saying earlier, thanks for that donation on the birthday. May the fourth be with you. I hope you caught that. But if you didn't, there it is again. Thank you, Chad. Valeria, all right, Valeria. Good on you. Look at you showing up and taking it all in, Valeria. Good to have you all here. Are you planning on doing another Trump group to India? I'm not. No, no, I'm not. uh, at this point, maybe it'll happen, but it's pretty doubtful. I have to really people people don't really can't understand what I have to go through to do something like this. Impossible. So like the way they follow me around in the military and like everything in my health, how it suffers is really difficult, extremely difficult for me. And they don't want me back at the places that I've gone, some of them, and I already, like it's hard to go to places where they know and they don't want you there. They don't want you. They don't care if you're bringing someone else who's, you know, earlier in the process of spiritual enlightenment. We're all in the process. So, or we wouldn't be in a body, even if it's the process of helping others. So, the process is still happening. They just, the ones, the keepers of the script, have everything at stake with their script. Everything has to remain the same at Disney World. And that's just the way Disney is. You were discussing the Lord's Prayer last night. As it is in heaven, even in earth as it is in heaven. Yes, in earth as it is in heaven. In. Yes. Another word for even is exactly in earth as it is in heaven. Even in earth. Well, yeah, no. Yeah, that's true. Exactly in earth as it is in heaven. Isn't that interesting? Even is also not to take away from what you just said, because what you just said is true. Not take nothing away from it, just is said to add to it. Even is also a terminology for scales. you know like the cross is basically a weighing device for weighing deeds, right? Weighing your soul. And so, Mayor Baba says we have to get our deeds not too much good and not too much bad, even. You know what I'm saying? When that cross total thing is like even, you know. So when it's even, when a weight is even, when it's all evened out, that's when it's done. That's where you end the game. That's true. So Jewish, well, you know, the Jews, right? GEW, right? G is number 33, EW is we backwards. I mean, they're all backwards, right? They're the Disney characters, right? They're just out of darkness light. They know they're in duality. They run their script down and they work for God, who, how could they would not work for God? It's all hidden. And they produce, they play the notes and the song happens the way God makes up the script. Yeah, no, right. No, the characters of doing evil to Jesus are the Jews, right? That's the characters they play. They're not, they're the darkness doers, and they create, the bankers and out of darkness light. So, but this is God's script, right? What's another, well, the word script mean? Anyway, we're talking about a scripture, right? Script is like, one thing it is something in a movie, right? Oh, hey, the characters all play this as something. What's your role? Your role for your soul, your role, your dice. So, uh, oh, Lord's Prayer. Where was I going? Air Baba, Jesus Christ. Uh, oh, so even the Jews, and the script. Sorry. Yes, they're messing with me, but God's name got me out of it. So script is a word. That's part of scripture and script, right? Script is another word for money. Money, the root of all the evil here, right? The root of it is money. And so money is the root of how everything happens here. And it's the root of, it's on paper, just like the script is, like books are. It's all on paper. Here's a story. Here's a fairy tales. So paper, it's on this vision. It's on this. You can see it. I had a thought the other day. Before I go back into the script of the scripture, but I was thinking, what? Kind of an invention that didn't become public, but you see the outcome of it. Let's say we're in the atomic age, in the 1950s, Sputnik and all these, cool movies of robots and all this, sci-fi and all that stuff, right? And they got all the new inventions and it's got this cool look and all that. Uh, so what inventions I thought what invention that has happened long long ago, it exists, is like I would call it dream, what did I call it, something, I think I called it dream vision, like television, like, so that something to record dreams. Like, I'm sitting here and with my eyes, right? I can see stuff. So it's like, oh, I saw with my eyes, so it's real, you know? So, but don't you when you're asleep, right? Don't you when you're asleep, don't you see stuff in your dreams? I mean, isn't that one of the qualities of dreams is seeing stuff, right? You see it. You didn't, like, it happened. So, and that's what when I talk about movies, TV shows, things on video, influencers, right? The ones that give you influenza, the influencers. Uh, them are all, they don't need bodies. They don't need physical bodies. Hardly any of them have them. Even if they have them, they don't have them for long. They don't need to be in the physical to make things appear, And dreams are proof of that. Do you follow me? Those visions appear to you. You see things and people and things and events and oceans and cities and things from your past, things from future, things from present, things from times that never happened. All different things going on over there. And it's a jumbled mess, isn't it? But you did see something. You saw something in a dream, right? And anyone say that? I see things in I'm like, I'm not alone. People talk about, you can go on and be like, oh, dreams are when you see some things when you're asleep. Oh, okay. Uh, so wouldn't it be, like, you could wake up, you know, and what did I dream last night? Let me go through it at like 10 speed X. Let me see. Oh, whoa, what was that? Click. And you can just watch your dreams, Uh, like just record them and watch them. It's something that is seen, isn't it? You see it. God sees everything. And so it is recorded, just like, uh, our deeds are recorded, right? And weighed at the end of life. So our deeds are a component of his vision. There's also other components of it, aren't there? Like where you're in a dream, you feel something like, oh man, that was great. Oh man, that was scary, right? You have feelings in a dream too. So your consciousness is there. It's not here. It's not experiencing, seeing out your eyes like I am right now. It's experiencing another form of reality that is includes being in a body that's like this one that looks like the body that you're in. So the astral body, right, looks like and feels like the body you have now, right? Is, oh, I'm over there in this. You're on the other side. I'm in the ether. I'm over there. Like it exists because you seen it, I seen it, Everyone has seen it. You can read books about dreams. A place where there's something over there that you can't see, that's real. Everyone accepts that. That something you can't see is real is acceptable to everyone because dreaming is real. What, you don't dream? As somebody said, no, I had a dream. Everyone has dreamt. You see? So, where movies and stuff come from, like if you're seeing stuff that you didn't actually live while you're physically in the body, which you do in dreams, all kind of stuff happens. It's not like uh, sometimes I think it's common that you wake up and then, oh, you had a dream. And common that, you wake up and, oh, you're sort of almost still going on and now you're here. You're like, wait, what just happened? Why am I here? Well, I was just there, you know? So you kind of remember some of that and it starts to fade away, right? That's common. Memory loss from being over there is common. Memory loss, right? Memory loss is common too over there. Like you wake up in a dream and you think, like, what am I doing here? Like you're not in your physical form body, but your consciousness is just was there. So you're in a dream. You're like, what's going on over here? So then you come from the dream world. Now you're in this world. You're like, what's going on over here? It takes you a while to wake up and integrate with this body. Memory loss is, the other side is common experience that humans have when they go from place to place. But I'd like to state that a difference that the other humans have here, like the 33, whatever, I don't see that they experience that memory loss. You follow me? Like, is that even another lifetime? When you go into a dream and you come into this body because you're in another body, it seems to be non-physical, okay, but it's still another body and you're doing something over there sometimes, not every night, or you don't remember. So you're over there probably every night. 'Cause where are you? If you're not in your body here, where are you? You see? And a lot of nights, like, well, I didn't dream at all. Well, you were somewhere. Where were you? You see? So where is that world? What's going on? I think that's where Mir Baba really kind of like has his. And why I recommend reading him is he has such a good explanation of every part of that. So, but he doesn't say, "Hey, I didn't live in a body," and all these past characters, are just Disney characters to try to show you what to do, but they never really live. And you should be able to see that, you know, at some point. Like, how could you be? I mean, every part of the script, it really is insipid. It's insipid. It's like treating us like children. You see, instead of adults, it's like saying, "No, this is a script," and you're like, "Well, what? You did what?" You have cannons, and then you just line up in lines, and you shoot these cannons made out of cast iron, and of course, they would explode and murder your whole army, right? Because that's what cast iron would do. So, the script has so many plot holes and holes in the body holes. So none of it makes sense at all. It's stupid. It's like for children. It's like fairy tales. It's like, no, there's a tooth fairy. But put your tooth under everything is just stupid. It's stupid. But it's also kind of pointing at the truth of the situation. Um, in that, hey, did you know that you're actually in a fairy tale now? We make up the whole thing. So they're trying to tell you this as a child, and they're trying to get you in on it later. Hey, no, it is real. What do your grandparents are monkeys? Of course, we know they're monkeys. The science is already done. We were monkeys, okay? The science is that's it. The science is done. It's like, oh, you guys are nuts. So what's the point of the situation? I think that's what you look at the past scripts of what was going on and what happened, and look for the reason to do things. And that's why I'm going to bring us back to Mumbai, back to India, back to go to the Ramakrishna temple, because of the Ramakrishna temple, it says, it exists basically for Krishna consciousness. That's a goal of life. And it's on this amazing temple. totally in the city of Mumbai, old Mumbai or whatever, like it's not that far from where Gandhi's supposed to live. I went into Gandhi's house and I saw all that stuff, from that script. Um, and gave money to people laying on the street as their home too, outside the Gandhi home. Actually, oh my God, you're a character that lives on the bricks here. Okay, so, but oh, okay. My driver's like, "Hey, I'm getting a tour. Let's go. Want to go to the Ramakrishna temple?" I was like, "I want to go to the temple, see the spiritual stuff." Yeah, yeah, let's go. Okay, so you go to the Ramakrishna temple and greeted by this wording across them, like day one in Mumbai. I'm like, "Hey, this is great." It was even before Alec got there. I was like, "Oh, this is cool." And I go in a temple, walk around, and go to this one main part of the temple. Beautiful, big room and statues in the back of Krishna and stuff, and built in the ceiling are three inset domes. You know, like it's just and underneath of them is like the 64-year time loop. 8 times 8 stuff is under each dome. Three domes. Uh, so that's what there is there, and so hey, it's all about Krishna consciousness, and the architecture of the place shows like a lot of the physical, actually what's going on and stuff. And so that character, like Jesus, is a character, right? I'm not saying Jesus isn't real. I'm saying he's a character made up by God that didn't live in physical form, just like the saint or God realized or the one with Krishna consciousness who is behind this temple in Mumbai, the Ramakrishna temple. So I'm going to read you something from Ramakrishna, a quote. Okay. Oh, if I can make it happen. Okay. And it's on the topic of today of scripts and scriptures. So I'm going to read this piece about scriptures. Maybe Ramakrishna will uh, endear this character like Mickey Mouse, this character will endear himself to you, and you can see why you're intelligent for spending your Sunday Mother's Day time with me. Let's go through this. This is a quote attributed to Ramakrishna, who that temple is after, that character. Okay. Uh, what will you achieve by mere study of the scriptures? The scriptures contain a mixture of sand and sugar, as it were. It is extremely difficult to separate the sugar from the sand. Therefore, one should learn the essence of the scriptures from the teacher or from a sadhu. Afterwards, what does one care for books? Pauletta in the house. One of the twin powers of the USA in the heart department and working for God. Good to have you, Pauletta. Let's keep going through this. This is a quote from Ramakrishna. I went to the Ramakrishna temple right when I got to Mumbai, right before Ali got there. Okay. And happy Mother's Day, Pauletta. All right. And everyone. Uh, Continuing with the quote. Gather all the information and then plunge in. Suppose a pot has dropped in a certain part of a lake. Locate that spot and dive there. One should learn the essence of the scriptures from the guru and then practice sadhana. If one, let me spell that for you in case you want to know what that means. ASA, where is it? SADHANA. If one rightly follows spiritual discipline, then one directly sees God. The discipline is said to be rightly followed only when one plunges in. What will a man gain by merely reasoning about the words of the scriptures? Ah, the fools. The reason they reason themselves to death over. Oh no, sorry. Uh, I took this in photos. Sorry. They reason themselves to death over information about the path. They never take the plunge. What a pity. You may say, even though you dive deep, you are still in danger of sharks and crocodiles, of lust and anger. But dive after rubbing your body with turmeric powder, then sharks and crocodiles will not come near you. The turmeric is discrimination and renunciation. Sri Ramakrishna. So, you know, hey, those scripts, hey, you might want to get somebody who's interpreted them properly and has outcomes that can prove who they are. They know what's in them scripts and what relates and what doesn't, and can show you how to use that information. That's all that's saying, right? He's not here, but his script is still here. His temple is still there in Mumbai. It's telling us that information. Find someone who's, found out the truth. And it's really, a difficult state of affairs where you're like, oh, what's the truth of all these people, the path of Jesus? I'm like, hey, what's really that meaning of the Bible? And what's, you know, wait, who's the Spirit Bible dude? Hey, wait, what was that? And then you get to the end of it, you're like, wait a second, that whole all of Disney was fake? You mean the whole Disney was fake? I thought the rise where it went in a circle, I thought that was real. Like that was fake. It's you went that was super fun. And like the merry-go-round when it went up and down and around, that was fake. That was so real. You went up and down and you went in a circle. What? How could that be fake? you know? Uh people think, like it's so clever. The psychological control here is so incredibly deep and clever. Like, oh, I'm an adult. I'm so intelligent. I'm standing next to my young one here, and I'm bringing them what? To the merry-go-round. Children, huh? They don't know anything. Go have fun. Yes, life is just going up and down and around. There you go. Okay. Children took what? They know nothing. I love you. I love you too. Okay, great. But the adult psychology is, man, I'm so smart. Nobody could. I would figure out anything like a merry-go-round in like 2 seconds. I'm an adult. Ha! I figured out the merry-go-round. Ha ha ha! I'm intelligent. And then, you didn't figure out anything about the actual, the dome is spinning like a merry-go-round, and you didn't see wait, well, you know, you didn't see anything in your reality. You didn't see these little information teasers. Hey, did you notice your dome top goes around like your merry-go-round? You don't notice that. I'm a very intelligent adult, though. It's like, well, are you? So you really have to look to see, someone that's dedicated not their time to figuring out the truth. That's not going to do it. That's not going to do it. That's not going to do it. You have to do it, and every step of the journey, document your proof. That's what. Look at my YouTube channel. Look at my information. Right, I have documented my entire journey. What I didn't know, when I did know how I figured it out, I'm like, yeah. What you know what a person is? A person is, everything. You know what a rainbow is? Uh, the whole journey, psychological, informational, uh, the emotions, the feeling of it, the whole thing is real. It's real. Like I lived it every day, every part of the journey, being homeless, being not homeless, and so that all happened. So the proof is there. It's not some made up script where it's like, obviously that dude had plenty of sucky days in his, Geo Metro in Florida when it was warm. Uh, but he didn't freeze to death because he was in Florida. So, uh, that was real. My whole journey of being an actual real individual, not a character that didn't take a breath. I'm actually an individual that's breathing who figured out everything behind the scenes and did it by, okay, there must be something, there must be some sugar in with this sand, right? And this is very gritty. It's all sand. I'm just like, your first time as a baby, maybe put some sandy right there. Ow, does her ass look like sugar? That looked like sugar. Okay, that was bad. Uh, but that's what who has ate the whole beach, turned into a sand eater, to find out like, oh, I found an actual grain of sugar. One, you know? Like who's eating that much sand? Who spent that much time with their face on the sand, getting pushed their head or face mashed down by the boot of the system into the sand all day, every day until they can breathe and eat sand. Oh, that's me. I'm just saying, uh, you don't become like a sugar eater only, you become a sand eater. Let me go through all the sand and see what's real. And you just eat so much sand, you really get to see, oh, that whole section over there, I don't see any sugar over there. You get better at it. And then you really understand the nature of the situation. And you're differentiating sand being something that's, it exists, but you don't want no part of it, and sugar something that exists that you're looking for, the truth. Call that sugar the truth, you see. So that's what we're looking for. And you have to eat a whole lot of sand. You have to do a lot of testing of it. And the more you do it, the more they don't want you to do it, you know? They do and they don't. It's sort of like you can do it, but everybody gives you a hard time. And nothing happens, sort of. It's like, wow, something happened, but if you fight them, really less happens to you. There seems to be some power helping you as you're doing it. And then you start to look into the script and see any of these things true because, well, you notice everyone's a liar around you, so you're like, oh, these scripts are stupid, this is for children, everything's bullshit. And then you're like, well, wait a second, we find ourselves in a dome in a 64-year time loop. There has to be some reasoning to this, like God is smart enough to figure all these details out. There must be a plan behind, you know, all the laid out grid and all the timeline and all the characters. There must be a plan because this is, I can see how, and everything's happening like a Swiss watch, isn't it? But I understand why they say that. Like, if you look at this is a script of World War II, it's like in this very center of the entire script is Switzerland. We're neutral. It's like we're running the entire war, like we are the bankers. Money, script, right? Switzerland. Bank of International Settlements, right? They run the money for Switzerland. That's just, oh, we don't have any problems in Switzerland because we're neutral. It's like, uh, you know what? That's all you're gonna do? Ukraine. Oh, we're neutral. Russia's like, no, I'm kidding. The war is fake, obviously, but I'm just saying I'm trying to illustrate a point of the fake Ukraine Russia war is fake, of course. All wars are fake, but I'm just saying, like I'm just trying to explain the situation that we find ourselves in. We have to figure out what's true, what's not true, and then you have to go looking for someone that has taken the time to constantly document proof of their situation and why they got to the conclusions they got to. You know, a guru, who's my guru? It's sort of like you're listening to, it should be listening to, not like, what's the difference between, oh, I'm a, I'm a Christian minister. I'm going to tell you about the book and so on. I'm more like a scientist. I have spiritual technology and financial technology that I've tested myself. Myself. You see, so I'm more of a scientist, according to that part of the script, right? What is scientist? Who's a scientist? There's only one thing that can determine what a scientist is or should. One, nothing else, right? Scientific method, because that's the script. What's the scientific method? Oh, come to a hypothesis and do a bunch of tests, and then you get a conclusion, an outcome. Oh, that's the reason. I was wondering why this happened. Then I did all these tests thinking this was going to happen, then something else happened. And you keep going through that process. Eventually, your hypotheticals based on your, experimentation, which is actions in the world. Uh, hey, this is the outcome. This is what happened. You see? So you have to have someone that has documented that. Not just, hey, I'm a clever talker and I tell great fairy tales, right? I spin some tall tales. That doesn't help nobody. The proof helps. Someone with proof is helping. Someone with no proof is helping themselves. That's the nature of the situation around them. You see, they may be telling you, so this is the way you do something, improve something, and this is how I did it. But if they haven't documented that proof, they're not real. You see, they're maybe they don't have a body, they're demon in the ether, maybe they're just working for the devil, maybe this, that, or the other thing. Who cares? But they didn't save the proof, and they didn't show you how they got there and stuff. Uh, why waste a second on them? Like they don't have any information that could possibly be useful because their internal compass has no bearing that's useful to you. They don't even know to save their proof. Even if they did find out something useful, well, you didn't save the proof. No, I was just so their nature is wrong. You see what I'm saying? It's evil. They have an evil nature. They did not save their proof because at the heart of what they're doing, they didn't say, "Oh, you know what? If I'm able to do this, this will actually help people." And so their nature wasn't to save that proof. It's all a lie. That you see, or their nature is somebody is it something that you want to interact with at let's just say that's the best possible scenario, but they're still evil because they didn't save proof as they did whatever they did. That's a way to really, has a great colander, a sifter of sand and sugar right there. You see? And that's why it's easy for me to see I'm sugar. I got no sand here because I save all the proof of what I do and I show it. You see, that's the difference. I may, hurt somebody's feelings. I may get something wrong emotionally, or you may think that emotionally or according to the script. But what is a perfect master? What are they? Right? They're the script breaker. They're the ones that break all the scripts of your mind. All of them. All of them. If you still have some there, then I still have work to do with my script sledgehammer. You see? So I'm just trying to point out, yeah, there's some information because God made these scripts, right? These money tales of money, tall tales of money, and characters that interacted with money. It's like, okay, we get it, we get it. I mean, after a while, you see through it. It's just like, you know, could you stop whipping me now? It's like, no, we can't stop whipping you. You're slaves. So no, we don't know how to stop whipping you. Sorry. It's they drive you crazy after a while. So that's what I wanted to bring up. What Ramakrishna, that character, important character, had to say about the situation, about about Krishna consciousness, Christ consciousness, and its importance in society. Like Bear Baba said, is basically all important. It's all you need to do. But get it right. But when I went in the Ramakrishna temple and interacted with people there, it's just a bunch of them, like, shh, don't say, hey, easy, like we all know and they don't know. So don't tell anybody anything. Like they're up on me in 2 seconds. Some guy got irate at me. Like he was from another country too. It was just like crazy up there for a little while. But they don't want the truth in the Robert Christian Temple. I'll tell you that. That's one thing I learned in the Robert Christian Temple. They don't want the truth. Because the ones they already know it, or hey, I already have it. What are you doing here? Like you already figured it out. I was like, well, other people here they don't know, so I was going to tell them. It's like, yeah, but we can't tell them. You're not supposed to tell them. It's like, well, no, my role is God made me stay here, and so I got to tell them. So they'll try to stop me, you know. But they all try to stop me everywhere I go. It's just like, could you just say that's ultimately what perfect masters are? Okay. I'm silent. You know, that's where the Mayor Obama character comes in. I'm like, I'm not speaking to you no more. You know, I'll just be over here. If you want to ask me a question, let me know. Like, it's just too much. You know, how many decades of proof do I need to have? You know, how many decades of thousands of proof do I need? You know, before people start taking this extremely seriously. I know you all do. I'm not talking about you. But there's also a different level of seriousness to it, you know. So, okay, let me read what people are right here. I didn't want to lose my train of thought. I had a couple moments where I thought I was gonna, but I did. Uh, Jamie, yeah, it's depressing trying to find out. It can be, you're being separated from the herd, and we, you know, naturally, oh, you know, everyone's taught to be in with society, and these are the things that make you good, and everyone will like you, and blah, you know, it's like school. You want everyone to like you, don't you? Come on, hey, it's like, but it's just, the nature of ourselves, the ones who can't ignore the truth and just will accept the truth, has sort of get to a point where they're like, okay, you know what? There's a reason it's all happening. God is real, and everybody's at some stage of understanding that. And then you're like, but something's awry in society, you know? And it's just, you get to a certain point, you're like, no matter if it's suppressing, however it makes you feel, you just don't care. You're going to keep going. You want to find out the truth. So those feelings are like, you know, the velvet rope. It's like, you know, like it's sort of like, I guess a better analogy is like an electric fence, you know, where you get emotion, not shocked by electric, but you like get shocked by emotions, like oh, you know, that's depressing, you know. So it does have a feeling reaction. Like I like to say, like, you know, oh, Mayor Obama says it's all illusion. Yeah, but we're in here doing it. The script is all illusion. The past never happened. All the yeah, it's a giant illusion. But you know, what you experience, like your feelings, the the information you got, the situation you find yourselves in, and like that's all real. You're doing this for real. If you feel it, so it's happening. So you get to the other side of that depression where you figure it all out and you have that moment of bliss with God. You're like, okay, you had to pay it all that, you know, you're in duality, so you had to pay it all that stuff. And you know, you got the sign of the cross, right? Uh, yeah, the sign of the cross, right? He was, you know, was going like this, and the guy's like, oh, I'll meet with you. Ding. You know, like it all weighs out. You hit another plane, you have an experience where you hit the bliss. And you're like, okay, but apparently you got to pay a lot to get to that bliss. Okay, we touch the true nature of God. It's difficult. It is difficult, but the truth is what kind of keeps you going. Oh, there's some truth up over there. I think I see it right over there. Let's keep going. That's what you do. Jay, there are books alluded to in the Bible that are never mentioned. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like, point being, there's some hidden stuff. Yeah. God's like, hey, every script has like there's hidden stuff, so don't be, you know, don't forget to look for hidden secret stuff. You know, like that's don't forget to look everywhere. You know, it's like a you know, being in some Dungeons and Dragons video game, except for it's three dimensional and you're in a body. You know, you know, it does have a lot of that elements of it where you know you're looking for stuff and like where's the treasure and stuff, and you find something. But there's stuff that if you can find out a code or something, you find out all the hidden runes, the hidden information. Eventually, you see the whole game. Once you get through level one, you have it all mapped out. Well, don't go back to level one. Level one goes to level two. Level two, no, map it all out. That's what it is. Like that. There's hidden stuff. Okay, this goes deep. The missile. Oh, sorry. Masala Rabata and rituals robotic. Yeah, they got some crazy old scripts and spells and all these little details. You don't want to get wrapped up in them. Yeah, you're always sifting. Yeah, but that's why the point of Ramakrishna being, find someone who's a good sifter and listen to what they say is important on how to sift and what to look at and so on. And then you won't waste time on sifting through stuff that don't have no sugar in it. It's like there's no sugar over there. Come back over here. Like that. You follow? Jay, there's a photo of one of the presidents on an aircraft carrier, the Pulse Race in the background, large sign. Beware of problems. And they making a joke out of it. And you look at this history stuff long enough, you realize there's a threat of them making fun of us. That's the part where I call it insipid. They're making fun of us. God is making fun of us. Our Father is making fun of us and calling us children. You're not adults, and is saying it in everything, everywhere. You're not adults. That's what it's saying. You're a child on a merry-go-round. Wake up. God is saying that in the script. Do you see it? It's insipid. So who's being insipid to it? Who's calling us childish? God is. You see? That's the part they really have to take in. You see, so script is money, script add the sign of a cross onto script, and we got money versus Jesus. Like this is a money versus Jesus show. Uh, who's next on the money versus Jesus show? Yeah, come on, pull the handle. Let's see what you got. Let's see if you get Jesus or yeah, who can be Jesus up here? Do we? Do you have any Jesuses in there? You have any Jesuses? It's just all bakers, Uh, they keep spinning, but I never see a Jesus come up on any of the reels ever. uh, I say this all the time. There are no more adults. No, but you understand? What it means to be an adult is to see through the props at Disney World. I mean, honestly, that's a differentiation process. Hey, what some psychologist says, or some streak, or what normality says, or the TV says, or nothing like that. It has to do with that feeling of everything, right? Oh, hey, But honestly, when Mayor Obama writes about perfect masters, he sees the perfect master sees other people as like ants, ants, because that's the way. Oh, you're as an adult and you're putting your child on a merry-go-round. You're so far, your consciousness is so far separated. You're just like, I'm an adult, man. That's a toy. I'm like, yeah, I'll ride with you, sure, but you're having a totally different experience. You see, the child and the adult, but it's that far. Like Mayor Obama said, no, it's not that far. It's like a child and adult. It's like an adult and ants. That's how far. So it's not just a natural process that is easy to make happen. It's something that's much more different. Oh, I grew up. I'm an adult. I learned a script. It's like that's not that you didn't advance spiritually. If that's your answer to our situation, you didn't see anything. You didn't come up to any real conclusions. You didn't move forward spiritually. You're just going to reincarnate for your uncountable next lifetime. That's not good. Jack, do you remember your grandfather? You remember your grandfather seeing through the lies? Do you remember your grandfather seeing through the? Yeah. I wish I had a grandfather that saw through the lies. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't. You know. I'd say I had a hint of that happening with my father. Definitely did it. You know, hey, there's something behind all this or whatever. But honestly, you know, people talk to me and stuff. I answer their question. I tell them the information. I'll tell them stuff, and they look at me like I got three heads or something. I don't, you know, I don't know how to get through people. Silence is just we, you know, I made it here. God helped me. God gave me horrible circumstances I overcame, and I saw God was real. I guess that's the way you have to do it. I can't seem to just tell someone. Uh, I wish I could. I just don't see it happening, you know? Very difficult on my end. Let's see what else I got here. You called the tilted head like a door confused. Like, what? No, it's true. You're speaking regular words in English and they don't have an adult response. They have like a childish, they have a child response. So they're like, oh, have a good, oh, okay, have a good night, man. I'm like, that's your, you don't have no sentences. Oh, okay, have a good. And you know what I say? Someone that puts their hand out to pound it like that, hold up my hand, go like that. You go, turkey. You're turkey. Like an infant response. That's what I'm trying to say. Definitely, Jay. It's like and you know, it's only sort of a mother or a father almost or someone spiritually advanced can uh affect an infant. Like, you know, sometimes it's like they don't mix right. The baby just starts crying on somebody, get me away from that evil. Wah! You know, like how do you communicate with the infant? Like it happens, but can you communicate with any infant? I can. Any child I can. And they just walk up to me wherever I am, you know? I'm like, hey, little one. Um, so it's kind of and that's kind of like Mayor Mama says, see the world as a child. But isn't it sort of accepted that a child is, you know, coming to the truth and constantly sifting through the world and seeing how do I do this? How do I step? How do I climb this? Aren't there, uh, you know, like playgrounds where children go and learn to get better movement, color, and trying different things? And isn't that seen as human nature? You see? And then they reach adulthood. Hey, you're an adult now. Quit trying to figure things out. Stop. You know, it's like, wait, what? You know, isn't that human nature? Because it kind of, let their mama say, you have to come to me as an infant. Meaning, you have to have this view of the world that everything is an illusion, because that's what it is. And you're sifting through it to find out what's real. That's it. You're sifting through the sand to find out sugar. And you're saving the proof for your loved ones or the even if you don't love them, well, who cares? You're saving the proof for your fellow captives. You know, who cares if you don't like them? You probably don't like your fellow prisoners because what? They're prisoners. Who everyone sucks at being a prisoner on some level. So you're just trying to free them. After you free them, their nature will get better, you know. But it's so hard. It's like I've opened the prison door. If you could leave the prison room now, that would really save you a lot of talking and standing at the door. Could just get out. It's like they just won't do it. It's maddening. And you're just yelling at the front door, like the front door, you're screaming at your horse, you lost your voice, and then you're silent, like just from screaming. That's what it's like. You share the truth, and it's like talking to an ant. It's like maybe I should have just stepped on you. Like it's difficult. Jay, here's a little nugget. Tomorrow is the anniversary of Our Lady appearing to three children of Fatima. Oh, the first apparition of Fatima. Ah, that's funny. The prison door is open and they stay back in the corner. No, it's like I'm a human. Hi. Just I don't no weapon. You know what I mean? Like nothing. You see, check me. Nothing in the pockets. Nothing. Just an open door. They're like, ah, it's him. It's shocking. It's like, what are you doing? It's just an open door. You just walk. Ah! Oh, yeah, Jamie, no problem. And that's but I'm trying to at least today point out, what you're looking for, the basics of who to listen to. You saved your proof, you have proof for years, you have proof for your outcomes, who you are, every detail, your journey, your struggle, or else, how can you help? And so that's some of the Jesus story is sort of not helpful in a way, because there's no long struggle. It's just like we had a bad week. Okay, you get down to a tree and then you lived. Okay, how bad was it? Okay, but you're the king. All right, fine. Okay, I'm gonna say like some of the struggles aren't really that difficult. You get some Old Testament struggles that are more, you know, make more sense. But no one has a complete character in the past because none of them lived to really that satisfies us completely. You see, you see through the script eventually. You're like, well, okay, uh, Then you start to look for someone who's live that has information that you need and the proof because you're like, okay, I'm totally cool with Jesus and stuff, but like, what's your email, Jesus? I get you're not. We're not talking. Okay, don't talk. Can we at least email? You know what I'm saying? Can we email Jesus? I mean, can't. Who has your email, Jesus? Please. Okay, you're always here. You're always. Who has your email? Do you have a phone number? Can I text? Can I text? Is it okay to text? What any hours, 24/7, or are you sleeping in some way? You know what I mean? Like you got to start looking for someone alive with the truth because these characters, God says are real. Okay, are they real? So what level and so on? And what level aren't they real? So that's where you really start to really hone in on who's real. Like this whole fairy tale thing is getting out of hand. Like nothing's real. Absolutely nothing. Even God's not real. God's real. So who of the humans can I listen to who's real, who's got the proof, like I'm talking about? You see, it's just a yardstick on which to gauge all of reality. And so if someone hasn't saved the proof, so you can say, oh, hey, what have you figured out spiritually? And how did you come to that conclusion? Oh, let me show you. Boom, boom, boom. And they walk you through it. Who's doing that? You see? It's not even really let me should I say something stupid. I have done that, but you got to think about it. Could anyone become perfect master? Christ consciousness? I mean, how easy is it? What do I do? I test the system. I save proof. I show people. Anyone can do that. Anyone can do that. Anyone can do what I done. Really, I didn't die. So people could be doing what I'm doing, and they are doing parts of it. And then are they advancing it? You see, I didn't die. First someone tried to take a free home. I didn't die. Nothing happened. Didn't go to jail. Nothing. Zero. Nothing. So you see, the spiritual path is laid out before. It's just who wants to walk the path and win the game. It's save the proof for others and win the game. And God's like, the gate's open over there, and you all know the gate is open, but who's walking through the gate? It's right over there. It's hard. It's hard. This game is hard. It's incredibly difficult, uh, but it's also possible to win because God made it. God loves us, and this game is meant to be won, not lost. It's meant to be won by someone. And so, who those someones are, just look for who's done it before, who's in a body currently, and how did they do it, and what are the like stratagems that they use that help them get there. You see, what are the methodologies with their actions, stratagems, right? The things looking past that they used in their past to document their advancement and what are the general pieces of those methods? Do you see? Document the proof, looking for hidden information, stuff is books that aren't in the Bible. Where's the hidden information? And solving, that, saving the proof and showing others. You see, that's how you get to God. It's like God's in a secret room somewhere around here. Where are you now? Where are you hiding? It's like hide and seek. So we're saving the proof because that unlocks other levels and other hidden realms, doesn't it? Saving proof unlocks that. Oh, what? You say proof? You did that and you showed other people? You could die, right? And so God's forced to say, oh, come down this corridor closer because somebody's going to kill you if you don't. So come on down here. And it's like, okay, I'll come on down there. And it's like, okay, you're hidden in here, but how do you get out of there? I'm not going to tell you. Okay, bye. It's like, hey, God, that was short in the ether. Where are you? Get back here. It's hard. So, okay. Let's see. Yeah. uh, I'm glad you like where we're going. This is not easy. The point is, this isn't easy. It's not easy to find someone with the truth because almost no one exists. And, you know, they don't want them to be found. Excuse me, they lose control if the truth is found. You gain more control of yourself. They lose control. They're in the control game and they don't want to lose control of you, right? The devil's in the control game. I get control of you. So once they lose control, they get a little upset. Hey, you should come back, right? And if you don't, you can have problems. And so that's what it's all about, right? Control. And so you're removing control from God knows where to God. That's all. You know, how you get there with the truth, and how can you get there only with someone that has the truth? Because you haven't found it yet. You're still looking. It's like, well, I'm still in the body. I haven't found it. I found you. You have it. So what else you got? And that's kind of why they're different characters in this game. Each one is sort of along the path of where you need to go to get to God. Some of them have gone all the ways, and most of them just haven't, and they're just playing character roles. If you come to me, I made it all the way, and then God put me back in here with information that very few people want, and you people want that. So I'm doing my best to unlock that, and I try and each time I do this, kind of go over the basics, the principles, or not just principles, but the mechanisms. We find ourselves in a situation with mechanisms, right? This is happening here, this is happening here. And once you can see the mechanisms at work in our situation, then you can interact with our situation using the mechanisms that God put here to go this way or that way. I'll go forward, I will go left, I will go right. Where do you want to go? I want to go to God. Oh, okay. Well, these are the mechanisms. This is how you do it. Help your brothers and sisters, save the proof, support someone that has already found the proof, that has done those things themselves, and that do those things yourself. There isn't anything else like it's kind of like Terminator, the Terminator 1, right? Them cyborgs, right? Them whatever you want to call them, right? They just infiltrate. All the dogs can tell the difference now. The humans can't even tell the difference. Dogs barking at them, right? We find ourselves in a game where you cannot tell who's a human practically. It's very difficult. It is so incredibly difficult even to just do that. Just to tell the difference between a human and a Disney character is almost impossible until you come to my work and you see who's doing what and you see what are they doing. You could then you're like, I'm watching it's sort of like bird watching, right? Except for they don't have wings. It's sort of like wingless bird watching a bunch of chickens, right? Wingless birds. Or uh what do they call them? Peacocks, they can't fly far. Uh, Anyway, I don't have any wings, but they run this place. And this is our adversaries, our opponents, in a game that God made and barely, tells us how to play the game, let alone win the game. How do you get points? How do you're playing an invisible game until you find someone that won, and you're like, no, this is how the game is done. This is the points in all scriptures that are true, and here's a bunch of gobbledygook you don't have to listen to. So I mean, am I wearing a super special hat? It's all about the hat you wear. Who knew? It's like, no, it's sorry. I wish, yeah, but they all got hats, all the priests, and it's not about a particular hat. In fact, you people are a little too into hats. You concern me, and so I'm not going for you. What? We're cowboys, sort of, but we got yarmulkes. It's like, okay, I can see wearing a hat if it's too sunny. Yeah, but you're just wearing a hat because you got a little affiliation marker you do. It's oh, they're so annoying. We watch to see who has that hive, who's got a church. Wait, you got a church, huh? When did you get it? How did you get that thing? Like you just see in the end by auditing, by seeing the truth and knowing the truth of you see it. And that's what makes you more silent. You're like, well, okay, they got a brand new car and they live in that mansion over there and they do what? Uh Probably not we're not gonna be have a lot of affinity, like and so you don't waste your breath on situations and people and like it's not necessarily depressing, but there's a feeling that's like, that we're kind of born into. Oh, we want to be members of the hive, but it's more like, "Man, I want to figure this out so I don't have to do this again." Like, and that's where you're like trying to figure it out. It's not necessarily depressing, but it's like, man, why do I have to spend so much time on this? Like, you know, it might be nice if I could do this, that, or the other thing, but I really have to figure this out. It's not easy like that. It's very hard because no one else is hyper focused on winning this situation, winning this spiritual game, winning this war, winning this life. Uh, Very few people. How do you do that? By really finding out what the truth is behind the veil. Once you have that truth, you're like, okay, well, I figured out the truth. I'm acting like this now. I'm no longer concerned. Open the prison door. Sayonara. See you later. Any of you prisoners want to get on and in on this and come through the door while it's open? Okay, I tried. I held this thing to my last breath. Okay, see you later. That's all I could do. I'm not gonna be coming back again. So, you know, what can I do? Uh, what can I do? Anyway, happy Mother's Day, everyone. Thank you for being here. Call your mother whether she, came out of her womb or not. I know I'm gonna. Uh, and she didn't want to hear that, but she's Christian. That's what I heard all my whole life. Truth sets you free. I'm just telling you the truth. Okay, sorry, sorry, you know what the truth. Our conversations usually go kind of like that, or I'm just like, "Hi, great, thanks, bye." I don't know, That's why I'm more silent with everyone. What do you want me to say? You know what I'm going to say, so you want me to say it or no? No, you don't. So okay. Anyway, so happy birthday, happy right, have to be birthed right? To have a mother. Happy Mother's Day. Uh, so thank you for the support. George, you're not here yet. Thank you for the support. Pam, thank you for the support. Everyone who supported over, since this time I took up this church and started letting everybody behind all the veils. The support that people have given me is the only reason I'm doing it, because like everyone, I have to put a roof over my head. They constantly, they never stop. They never stop on me. They never stop. You think I would get to a spot where they'd be like, leave me alone or whatever, but they don't do that. They just don't. They give me less hassles, but they never leave me alone, because they need me to do this and do my job and save as many of you as possible, which I'm doing. But that's a struggle. And thank you for you people making it so every single soul isn't a ridiculous struggle. Some want to know the truth, and some people love God. It's so few, but thank you for doing that. It makes it worth me doing this and helping people. Thank you for the donations. As part of the script, as part of the scripture, the new life, you have to beg your way to God. You're really hands and knees begging, and you're like, this. The ego is crushed in that process, crushed to nothingness. Anyway, thank you for your donations, and I'll keep doing this. As I get donations, then I'll keep doing it. Okay. So thank you, George. Thank you, everyone who's donated. Uh, have a great week. Today is the final day of the Mother's Day sale over Liberty Aid Academy. Anybody wants all the work over there for a discount? Today is the day if you want to help a mother out or a father. Anyway, okay. All right. God loves you. Uh, I hope the truth allows you to lose the depression and see that God is unfathomable in the end. Miracles, like, I don't know how that happened. All of God is, you can't really figure it out. You have to see that at the end. You see, God starts and stops time. Yep, in a second. Like, and it's no, what do I have to push on? Turn it off and on, right? That's how you fix everything with your phone, with your internet, right? Turn it off and turn it on, turn it off. And we have to do like 10 times. God's like, off, on. That's it. That's how you fix everything. All right, everyone. These are your homies in here. These are the people that care about the truth. So these are your brothers and sisters in here. That's you all. God loves you. And you came into this game, into this life spiritually, completely so far advanced past almost everyone alive. They came to the truth. So don't be depressed about that. Be happy. Be happy. Oh my God, this wasn't an easy struggle. I made it to the truth. Like how, what to do with it. We're working through that and so on, as best as we can. This is the truth. You made it there. Love God. And that was the game. And so the rest of it is like, kind of sitting in a circle, like, man, this is who's the most freaked out this week? Who wants to go first? So you want to go first? Okay, here, tell us what's going on. It's a little bit like that, but then, how you shouldn't be depressed because you're looking at something that's so far beyond our ability to completely understand it. You know what I'm saying? That it shouldn't ultimately be depressing. You should be like, God is so far past understandable, but loves us to watch over us and play this game because God loves us and just wants in return our love fully, really from the heart, without any subterfuge or without giving anything. What's all I love? That's all, and that's the game. So incredibly difficult with no hidden anything. Just love God. So hard. But that's the game, okay? And you can do this. You are doing this. You are every day. So don't be depressed because you're winning. You've won. We're going to play it out to the end. Going to get eternal life. Make it to the end. Hey, thank you, God. That was hard. I love you. you know, you. So you can do this, okay? All right, everyone. Have a great week. Nothing else on your mind. We will come back next Sunday. Uh, Donation is willing, and we'll have another go at understanding every detail of this reality so we don't have to relive it. Okay? All right, Jay. Thanks for your support, man. I really appreciate it. Everyone else. Have a great week, okay? God loves you. Don't be depressed about that. Be happy.